Colonel Sanders was not too old. He was almost out of time. By the time Harland Sanders reached his 60s, life had already taken pieces of him. His father died when he was a child. He left school early. He worked job after job: farmhand, railroad fireman, insurance salesman, tire salesman, service station operator. Some jobs ended badly. Some businesses failed. His marriage broke apart. His only son died young. And still, somehow, Sanders kept moving. Not because he was fearless, because stopping would have meant admitting that all the pain had been for nothing. For years, his best chance was a roadside restaurant in Corbin, Kentucky. That was where people finally started coming for his fried chicken. 11 herbs and spices, cooked under pressure, crispy outside, juicy inside. For once, Sanders had something that worked. Then the highway changed. Traffic moved away from his restaurant. The customers slowed down, and the business he had spent years building could not survive the road that no longer passed his door. He sold the place, paid what he could, and at 65, he was left with a recipe, a pressure cooker, and a Social Security check of about $105. That could have been the ending. An old man with a failed restaurant. A lifetime of almosts. A story nobody would remember. But Sanders looked at the one thing he still had: the chicken. He already knew the idea could work. One restaurant owner had franchised it years earlier. But now Sanders needed more than one yes. He needed enough yeses to survive. So he put on the white suit, got in his car, and started driving. Town after town, restaurant after restaurant, kitchen after kitchen. He did not just hand people a recipe and ask them to believe. He cooked it himself. He stood there while they tasted it. He showed them the method. Then he offered a simple deal. Use my recipe. Sell my chicken. Pay me a nickel for each one. And most people still said no. Because to them, he was just an old man in a white suit asking for a chance long after life was supposed to be over. But this is where Sanders became dangerous. He did not treat rejection as an ending. He treated it as information. If one owner did not listen, he changed the pitch. If one kitchen did not care, he drove to another. If money was tight, he saved what he could. Sometimes he slept in his car just to keep going. Not because it was romantic, because he had no comfortable way left. And little by little, the yeses started coming. His wife Claudia helped pack the seasoning mix. Restaurants began using the recipe. The brand started spreading. Not overnight, not magically. One kitchen at a time, one handshake at a time, one tired mile after another. By the early 1960s, Kentucky Fried Chicken was no longer just an old man's last attempt. It was becoming a real company. In 1964, Sanders sold it for $2 million. But even after that, he kept working, kept traveling, kept wearing the white suit, kept protecting the thing he had built when everyone else thought his story was finished. That is the part people forget. Colonel Sanders did not win because he had one great recipe. A recipe can sit in a drawer forever. He won because he kept carrying it to the next door. Again and again and again. Life had already taken his childhood comfort, his jobs, his marriage, his son, his restaurant, his money. But it never took the one thing that mattered most: his willingness to try one more door. So if you think you are too old, if you think you have failed too many times, if all you have left is one small thing you still believe in, remember Colonel Sanders. He did not need the whole world to say yes. He just needed enough courage to keep knocking until one door stayed open. Tell me in the comments, what door are you still knocking on? And if you are still trying after life told you it was too late, welcome to Tales by Sue. Here, we tell the stories of the ones who outlasted the no.